Hi guys, I'm Paul from Constrictors. So today I wanted to do a video on incubation. Now a lot of you will probably be close to switching off already, but if you're new to the hobby, please stick around. You may find some of the information I want to talk about useful. Now I do cutting videos and a lot of breeders do, but I'm starting to wonder now if we're setting a bad example. And it's not cutting the eggs that's bad, because if you do it in the right way at the right time, there's no ill effects. I don't care what anybody says, there's no ill effects. I've cut literally every single egg I've ever hatched and I haven't had anything negative happen so far. So don't get me wrong, things have negative happen, but not through cutting the eggs. But what I'm wondering is, if inexperienced breeders, so breeders that might be doing this for the very first time, are cutting their eggs a little bit too early or when the eggs are not ready. One thing I'm noticing this year more than ever is how many people are cutting eggs at day 55 to 58 but are running at quite a low temperature in an incubator and then running into problems. This video is set out to help you, not to critique, not to put you down, and not to make already bad situation worse, but I want to help you, because if I was hatching babies and losing them, it's not only not good for the snake, but also it's not good for the hobby, it's not good for me, it's not good for anything. So if I can help you in any way, I want to do that. But what people need to stop doing is going and buying cheap equipment. I own a reptile shop, as a lot of you already know, and the amount of people that come in for their breeding stock, for their pets, but also for their breeding stock. Now, don't get me wrong, if it's simply a pet animal, it still should be given the correct equipment, no expense spared. Now I get people coming in for the cheapest of heat mats, for the cheapest of thermostats to set their incubators up or to set their breeding stock up. I don't get it, and I very gently and politely try and talk them into the more advanced thermostats, pulse stats, dimming stats, stuff like that, ones with alarms on them, stuff like that. I run alarms, and trust me, more than 2 or 3 times when I had urban constrictors in my home, I was woken up in the middle of the morning around sort of like 2 AM, 3 AM, or in the beginning of the morning, should I say, by the alarm. Something had gone wrong. Now, in a situation like this where I don't live here, that is a worry, because if the alarms sound and I'm not here, no one's here to hear them. So urban constrictors is moving, and an alarm system that is on my phone. Basically, I'm incorporating more technology to safeguard stuff. Why? Just for peace of mind, not because I've run into any issues. I post pretty much all my cutting videos so you guys see what I'm hatching. I don't really run into the problems, but people are, and because I've got a little bit of a reputation to be a quality breeder in the UK, I get friends, followers, and people I have no contact or no past contact with messaging me saying, what have I done wrong, or why is this clutch dying, born, kinked, and stuff like that. Now I have a couple of my friends who I class as friends on my page that I've run into difficulties very recently, and I don't want this to seem like this video is aimed at them. It's simply to help anybody that may find this information useful. So if you're going to set up an incubator, I don't care if it's a polystyrene box, a fridge converted, or a walk-in incubator, first and foremost, do not buy cheap equipment. I have a saying with tattoos, because I have some shit tattoos that I'm getting removed, and I have some good tattoos that are staying. Good tattoos are not cheap, cheap tattoos are not good. Now that goes for pretty much everything in life. Rolls-Royce never have a sale. Their cars are amongst the most elite and best in the world. They never discount their cars. Why? Because people know when you're buying something like a Rolls-Royce, you're buying quality. So if you're buying a heat mat, buy the Rolls-Royce version of that heat mat. Buy a good brand with a long warranty. There's thermostats, for instance, with 5 years warranty. Microclimate, for instance, would not issue 5 years warranty if they didn't think they'd last. Now, I've owned the reptile part of my existing shop for over 4 years, and I've had 2 microclimate thermostats returned. In one occasion it was the little It was a fuse on another one. I don't think it'd been wired up properly because it was taken home. They tried to set it up, it didn't work. They brought it back. I'm not endorsed by Microclimate. I have no contact direct with Microclimate. I go through a wholesaler, and I'm not getting anything from Microclimate. So the other options are available, but the new Microclimates are very, very good. The old Microclimates are very, very good. The ones without the alarms. Now, when you're setting up a incubator, buy good quality heat mats, or whatever heating element you use. I use heat mats. Buy good quality heat mats. Buy a good quality thermostat. Get yourself some fans. And now I sell fans that go on top of fish aquariums, and the little bit humming in the background you can hear on every single one of my videos is my incubator. The air conditioning's turned off. The only thing that's on is obviously all the heat mats, the lights, and the incubator. Now that is all them fans turning. I have all the fans facing downwards. People put fans in their incubator and face them sideways. Heat rises. You need to push that heat back down, and you need to circulate the heat so you get an even distribution of heat throughout your incubator. You don't want it hot, cooler, and then much cooler, because these ones at the bottom are gonna develop much slower. So if you cut them on day 55, 6, 7, 8, day 60, they may not be ready. So good quality equipment first and foremost. When you're buying thermometers, not thermostats, because everybody gets this mixed up. Hi guys, I realised once I stopped filming that I'd forgotten a key part. Now this will interrupt part of the video because I will cut it, slip this bit in, and then go back to where I was. But basically, on the subject of thermometers, get yourself something like the Exoterra ones, the ones that read the spike of the temperature and the lowest point of the temperature, so you can press that button and take your readings. Because in about 2012, maybe 2013, while I was at work on the hot sunny days, the sunlight was blasting through my snake room window and warming that incubator up. I used to get home when the sun was setting. I used to walk into my snake room, look at the eggs, look at the several thermometers, and know that think that everything was okay. It wasn't. The eggs was getting overheated. I lost 2 clutches, and to date, and we're now in 2018, so 5, 6, maybe even 7 years on, I still haven't hatched Orange Dream Het Pies and Orange Dream Het Clowns. You guys know I love my 3 favourite genes are Clown, Pied, Orange Dream. So obviously I want to mix all them 3 together, and today I still haven't done it for one reason or another. So get yourself the thermometers that read the highest point and the lowest point, so you can check every single day. Mount your thermometers, your digital thermometers, outside the incubator if you can, but with the wires running in. Hook them somewhere secure in the centre, top centre, middle centre and bottom centre. Get them fans pumping the air down and let it naturally come back up. Get the heat rolling round and distributing evenly. And then in the warmer months, I have air conditioning in this room. I know we all can't have that, especially in the UK. In the UK, we don't get enough hot weather to justify either standalone air conditioning or built into the house air conditioning. Get your windows open and get a fan blowing, or more than one fan blowing onto your incubator. If it's a fridge or a freezer, the metalwork around will obviously absorb some of that cooler air and slightly lower it. So if in summer your incubator runs a risk of running a little bit high, incubate at slightly lower temperature to give you that buffer, and then let the eggs pip, because they may pip at day 59, 60, 61, 62, maybe even 65. So like I say, I'll slip this bit in. I hope I haven't missed anything else. I'm genuinely trying to help people here, so I hope it's taken in the way it's meant to come across. I'm not trying to teach anyone how to do anything, I'm simply trying to help. So we'll cut back to the other part of the video now. Thermometers, rely on them for reading your temperature. Now if you set and buy more than one, buy 3. One for the top, one for the bottom, one for the lower section of the incubator. If it's a very small incubator, maybe just buy 2. But always buy more than one, because if one fails, you've got a backup. And also, if you get 2 very different readings, you know something's wrong, and you didn't know if it's the first one you bought, what's correct, or the second one. So what I do as a backup, I bought the Mercury Science Lab glass thermometers. They're cheap as chips. They're about this long, and I've got 3 of them. I put them top, middle and bottom. I use them as a backup. If they say, let's say 30 degrees, and my digital thermometers, my Exoterra digital thermometers, say around 30 degrees, I know we're about there. Now, if you're a little bit worried that your thermometers are actually reading incorrect, run your incubator lower. A lower temperature will give you a development stage, a longer development stage, but that's all. A higher temperature will speed the development up and potentially kink the babies, or they may not ever hatch, depending on how high you go. 92 Fahrenheit is the highest I've ever heard anyone successfully hatching snakes. Now, there's always going to be one that's done it higher, but don't even go to 92, in my opinion. Now, I know some of you do, and it's fine. If that's the way you've done it and it works, don't change anything. But for those of you who are new, I incubate 88.5 Fahrenheit. It works perfectly for me. It doesn't give me the fastest development, but it gives me consistent development, and the snakes come out typically absolutely perfect. Now, anybody who breeds anything is not going to have a complete 100% track record, because things happen just like they do in humans, in all other animals. You're always going to get 1 or 2 that break the mold and develop a little bit incorrectly or wrong. But on a whole, 88.5 Fahrenheit to say 90 is, in my opinion, the sweet spot. Now, I know there's people out there that's incubated much lower than that and done it perfectly successful. I know someone that's incubated at 75 Fahrenheit. It took something like crazy 85, 90 days, but they hatched perfectly. They went on to do absolutely fine. Now, I'm a strong believer in thinking of an incubator like cooking. If you put something in an oven and you cook it at a lower temperature, it will take longer to cook, but it will cook. If you put things in the oven at a really high temperature, you're going to potentially ruin it. If you're going to overcook it, you're going to either ruin it, burn it, whatever. Think of it like that. Breeding snakes is very much, and I'm not a chef or anything, but breeding snakes is very much about cooking or baking. Like, certain genes put together don't make the most visually pretty snake, but you put one more element into that and bang, it's amazing, it's perfect, it's beautiful. It's a bit like cake, making a cake. You put flour, eggs, and let's say a bit of sugar, taste it, maybe not so nice, but you put another ingredient in, or maybe another ingredient, and you make a cake. I know you might be thinking, what's he talking about at this point? But I like to think of things in very layman terms, because that's the way I was brought up. Now, analysing things in what I class as layman terms works for me. It may not work for you, but you've got to find, kind of in your own mind, you know, how you want to look at the approach. I always refer to my eggs as cooking, because that's basically their cooking away. So too hot is too fast, and you potentially run into risks. Too slow, everything should be fine, but it just takes longer. So going back to cutting, I have a history of breeding snakes. If this is your first year and you've had 1 or 2 clutches, your history isn't quite there. So you need to find your feet. So what I strongly recommend for everybody new is let at least 2 babies pip. If it's a big clutch, let more. If it's a 3 egg clutch, let 2 babies pip. Now, if you want to let them all pip, all the power to you. Definitely do it. I am not against letting I'm not against letting snakes hatch naturally. I'm not against letting all pip then cutting. But I am against, even though I cut eggs, cutting them early, because you condition. If you buy these snakes when they're babies, you buy them when they're babies, you grow them up and condition them for 2 years. The females a minimum of 2 years, and then you breed them, which arguably takes another 6 months to 12 months. So let's just say another year. So you've spent 3 years getting that female to the point of laying eggs, and then you incubate them for 50 days and then cut them. For 5 days in all that 3 years, you can't obviously wait 5 days. Like I say, I'm not bashing anyone. It's not aimed at anyone. Trust me, it's not aimed at anyone. I'm simply trying to help. Let them pip naturally, and then once 2 are pipped, the chances are, and it's not bulletproof, but the chances are the rest of the clutch are ready, and they're either trying to get their way out or they're about to start making their way out. If you let 2 eggs pip, 2 snakes pip. If you let 2 snakes pip, you are safeguarding yourself from cutting early. So please, I grew up watching the Garrett Demiah videos and Justin Gabelka videos and people like that. and for the most part everyone was cutting eggs, so I thought it was a norm. And I used to cut the eggs at day 52, and they used to take a week to come out. And I learned from my mistakes. If I watched a video like this, it would make me think twice, so this is why I'm doing it. I hope some of you guys will think twice about cutting eggs early, because for 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or even 15 days, that 15 days is a lot less than waiting till next year to breed that same pairing to get that hold back, or that snake you're just destined to hatch, or you really want to hatch. So please, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments box below. I will give you my opinion. Now, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody has one. Not everybody talks out of it though. So this is my opinion. This is how I do things. Now, if you want to take that advice, take it. If you don't, I fully respect that. But please, there are so many people doing cutting videos, or not even so much cutting videos, putting pictures up and there's blood everywhere. And don't get me wrong, we all hit a vein when we cut. It happens. But just to safeguard your snakes and to safeguard yourself, because going through the problems is not nice for anyone. Nobody hatches a deformed snake and is happy about it. No one cuts an egg early and the snake exits the egg too early, tears its umbilicus, leaves the egg yolk behind, and then dies in the incubation tub or whatever. Nobody likes that. So please take your time. If you've got any questions, drop in the comments box below. I'll answer every single question to the best of my knowledge and through my own opinion. I hope this video helps. It's going to be very controversial, so I hope I don't get hammered for it. But if I can help you guys, I want to. This channel is not about just showing off what I hatch. It's about making the industry better. Now, lastly, I won't stop cutting eggs at this moment, because I like cutting eggs and I believe in cutting eggs, because I don't ever want a baby to die. I know the chances are it may never happen, but it's that one. The chances are I'll never go in a plane crash, but I still don't like flying, so I do avoid it for the most part. So please don't judge on the people that cut if you're against it. Just, if it's done in the right ways, respect it. For those of you who are cutting at day 50 and there's blood everywhere and the snake hasn't got all its colour because it's not that well developed, then I get the little bit of negativity sometimes people throw about. But let's not be quick to judge, and let's not be quick to critique people in a negative way. Let's help each other and make the industry stronger. So I hope this video helps somebody. I'd love it if it helped everybody, but it's not going to, because some of you already know what you're doing and some of you may do things a little bit different. Now, there's always 2 ways to skin a cat. Anyway, I hope this video helped you. If it does, give it a thumbs up. I hope I get a bit of positivity back from it. If you've got any questions, like I said, drop in the box below and I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll see you soon for a cutting video. Cheers.